Right, audio check. Toast and butter, one side toast, batch loaf, Irish butter. Check, check, check. Right, welcome back. I haven't touched Satisfactory in quite some time now. I know there's been a lot of update 8 announcements and whatnot, but I decided I'd launch up experimental update 7 and the Satisfactory mod manager just to see what updates there's been or anything new. And one of my favorite modders actually on this, a guy called I think it's Andre. He just churns mods out like you wouldn't believe, but there's so much stuff he does. It's brilliant. Actually, can we see a preview? Oh, we can. Yes, I forgot about this. Now, some of these I already had on my mods list that I might need to take off, but for the most part they're still shown as compatible. I should point out, even though it says something's compatible, it depends on when it was last updated, and there may be unknown issues since that certification was done. Now, when I say certification, it's usually the mod owner that checks, like where he'll load up update 7, for example, and see how it mods, or sorry, update 7 for experimental, and see at that point in time, does it seem to behave itself. You can never really do every, like there is no list of tests that they can do to confirm it works well with others. You just don't know until you start using it. But I've about 50 as of this morning, or this session I should say. I've got 52, 53 now on this. I've added in a few new ones. Some of the ones I've added in are going to be cosmetic use only. Like as in, for those who play like City Skylines, we got what they call the prop tools, where you can load in props and just place them as cosmetics. Shielding gaps. Oh yes, wall gaps and conveyor gaps. That's an interesting one. Or I'm thinking of a different mod, but oh no, sorry, it is, yeah, Drew Backer. Yeah, it's basically, let's say you have a factory and you've got rows and rows of, you know, conveyors between the walls with the conveyor holes on them, and or you've just got conveyors and no way to walk through them. That's what those two mods do, basically. It allows you to walk through a set point. It's kind of like having teleporting stuff from one wall on your left to the wall on your right. Essentially, that's really what it is. But it's invisible, whichever way you want to think of it. Spectator mod, status map marker. I think that's to do with location. Just like on the UI, it tells you where you are. RSS. This guy Kiri, actually, he's got a couple of, about 3 or 4 that I've seen that I've added in and turned on. I think I might have had 1 or 2 already enabled, but I had to, and then there was one I had to disable. It was wire mod RSS, which is replaced in terms of functionality because it's already covered by I think it's already covered by this. Oh yes, wire mod RSS is replaced by this one, which is the same modder. Right, so rather than loading previous save, that'll probably break anyway, let's just go with clean. Wheeland Corp. Inspired by the corporation from the Alien Universe movies. We might open it up later. Actually, did I even click on the starting area? Don't think I did.
Attention Pioneer. The following instructional video is a summary of your impending duties as an exoplanetary pioneer for Fixit Incorporated. Fixit Pioneers have 3 cyclical assigned pillars of work to ultimately accomplish project assembly. Use provided blueprints to build the necessary buildings. Chart the planet and gather resources to provide desired results and improve your infrastructure. Make sure to report.
I think the voiceover actress for this, if you watch 911 The one that the spin-off series that's
Expand
bit
your
with
factories,
Rob Lowe that's
outposts,
based
and
in
pipelines
Texas.
through automation and
It's the
augmentation.
head of the medical crew.
That's
That
it.
that's
Get to work and be effective.
African American actress.
Warning.
Can't think of her name.
planetfall imminent.
She was also
Please
in
remain
Angel,
seated
this
during
Buffy
full
spin-off
procedure.
series, and a few other things.
Atmospheric entry in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Planetfall procedure initialized.
Or it could just be a coincidence. That it just happens to sound like her. It's not necessarily her. Could be an AI generated voice for all I know. It happens to use that accent.
Planetfall complete. Please ensure the integrity of your multi-purpose exploration suit is at 100%. Remember, efficiency first. Godspeed.
An AI saying Godspeed, yeah, I've never really noticed that before till now. Right,
Welcome to Planet Massage 2 ABB, your designated sector in the binary star system of Akicha. I am Ada, also known as Artificial Directory and Assistant. Task note.
Right, shush, Ada. Right, so one of the mods you're
First
seeing right...
objective.
No, Ada, shush. Item pickup. So one of the mods that I've added onto the list gives info on the HUD, on the UI, as to what you're aiming at. Another thing, I don't know, I think all those beacons are two different mods. So there's one mod, and I don't think I've enabled it because I think it uses chat commands, basically, like in the chat window, where you can tell it to turn on beacons for every collectible within, I don't know, I think it's a certain radius. It shows up. Now those red lines and the vertical and horizontal, I'm not sure which mod that is yet. I'm pretty sure it's one of Anders' mods. Right, let's disassemble that. Oh, actually there was something I forgot to show, but I'll show it now in a second. Location coordinates. Probably briefly saw it appear on the left. Alright, let's close that.
All important fix-it data and
Shush, Ada. Don't need it. Actually, there's an idea for a mod. Mute Ada when we don't need her. Set up a keystroke. Right. I think most would call this the easy start area, like the open green areas. But I think when I last played in this area, I kind of start at this level, start a foundation on this edge and just work my way out and cover off. However, I saw a mod today on the list. I think it's one of Anders as well. That's what's the word? Unique. That makes building space no longer an issue. Now we might just have to do the initial start to the game to get the materials to actually show you what that mod is, because I'm guessing we won't be able to build until we have some of the basic stuff done. But we'll try and see, can we highlight and use some of the mods to give us a bit of a boost at quickly getting up to speed. If I remember right, in the north direction is a coal repository for our power plant that I usually build. It's usually where there's like a sunken valley area with some coal nodes, and then my other common location for power plant is over on the east coast where I would usually, I think it's built out either on the water, and then there's coal nodes and stuff there for building a nice power plant. Yeah, I'm guessing there's a way to toggle off all these lines, but until I remember figure out which mod it is, we may have to wait a bit. Not to worry. There's loads of places on this map I've never actually started out on or built. That might be something worth doing. Which brings up the topic of mods that create different areas or what looks like new map. Now, as you know, the map in the game itself is preset, and there are websites that you can load up on a separate screen so you can see location and whatnot. And then there's another mod actually that relates to what I'm doing at the moment, where I'm gathering leaves, basically biomass resources for the initial power. I think they call it the biomass generator. There's a mod that will actually do the gathering for us. Well, I say loosely, there's two I looked at, but there's only one of them I think I have enabled. Is, you know, the tractors. There's like an add-on. You can collect resources to build, to enable on these tractors to turn them into tractor or harvester tractors. That looks pretty. Would be very handy early on. Well, I don't know if it's early on specifically, because, as you know, things are behind progress type, or what am I trying to say? A tiered system. Now, some of those things you can use other mods to get them early. But yeah, this is usually a good spot now for iron. I think there's a couple of iron nodes right here beside us. And the first creatures we'll deal with, which is, or as I call them, the chimeras. There they are. There's one of them. There is a second one right over there. But we don't have anything to hit them with yet, because we haven't actually placed. There's even a mod, that's the big flying manta. There's a mod that should make that invisible if you wanted to. Okay, let me see now. How do I do this again? Complete the onboarding process.
Second objective. Please ensure you have your Fixit Incorporated Xenos node.
Yeah, she's
According to
reminding
Fixit
us.
Regulations,
So you have to click through that before you can get into this part. There's the hub that we need to place.
Third objective. Please familiarize yourself with the resource scanner to find iron. Note: the acquisition of iron is
Yeah. So typically, whether you're playing vanilla or experimental, iron, and copper are the first two things we need. Loads of. Now, pack mod or pack utility mod. This is something I've used a lot. You can basically give yourself what is it? Fly mode, creative mode, disable creative power, give specific items and how much you want into your inventory. This can be good for particularly if you don't want necessarily to do pure creative mode, where you just want to, you know, design a starting point for a map. Like we could play, say, like the first hour of this, and then save that, and then zip it up, and then keep it for like a server. So like maybe you want to do some sort of a co-op thing, but you want to kind of pre-design how the map starts out, type of thing. That's what that's useful for. It's also useful for when you don't have a jetpacks, because we didn't always have jetpacks. So from a creative mode / you know, wanting to build prefab setups and stuff, we could never. You can never always get the right angle or point of view to be standing in order to be able to place something. Can we get a jump on him? Nope, because he's heard us already. There are mods that actually escalate the trouble you can get into with these guys. As in, oh. Yes, we do take damage because I'm not in God mode, Rotten. Stop. I did see a new mod as well that will actually double the output of what you get from these when you kill them. Well, I don't know if it's double specifically, but gives you more. Yeah, now at the moment it looks like... Is the beacon turned on those? No, it's not. Oh, maybe it is. Actually, hold on. Oh yeah, see those white faint beacons going up the vertical. So that is that mod I was mentioned earlier. Where it tags all of the collectible foods and probably other things that aren't food related. Probably the slugs. What else? What else would there be? The slugs and I think what else there is that's collectible. It's a while since, as I say, since I played. Yeah, there's about three or four different nodes for iron down here. You notice when we mouse over as well, it's telling it's pure at the end of this.
Fourth objective, build the hub. Note, to complete this objective, the resources salvaged from the drop pod will be consumed. Caution, ensure the hub is built on spacious open terrain close to the presence of iron sources. Failure to do so will likely result in non-optimal progress.
Leave me alone. Now the reason why you're seeing all of these show as pure is another mod. I don't remember the name of it, but it basically sets all nodes to pure. Just for the sake of consistency, not having to deal with calculating stuff. I will say, since I first started playing this when it came out, I didn't do any kind of calculations. I just went with my instinct and my own skills on how to, you know, mine and whatever else in stores and then get it processed. I didn't care about, you know, having certain number of miners ratio versus processing machines. I've never really played it that way specifically. I always played it on the basis of get as much as I can, store it and feed it into machines. That was it. Now there is, I think it's satisfactory-calculator.com, I think is one of those websites that has both the map and a calculator on it. But I think a lot of that is more related to vanilla anyway. Not that you have to ignore it, but say you'll probably find a lot of people when they first start playing this game, and maybe still don't actually play it in that way because they don't want it to be a chore. Let me see, where are we? So that's probably limestone. Oh no, it's Caterium. So these type of nodes, well, they're not really nodes, they're just random spawns. They don't give continuous. That should be our limestone just over there with another chimera dog. And then there should be more iron just up here. And another unfriendly hostile. Stop trying to hurt me. Oh, what did it call it? Oh, it actually calls it a hog. Alright, we'll try and remember that they're hogs. copper. Where is copper? Copper, if I remember right, is up on that side. Oh, I see him. There's another one there. Did I just hear two of them growling at me? Oh no, it's the other one. The one that looks like a big tall elephant. Fluffy tailed hog. Actually, let me just turn down the game volume a bit. It's probably loud to be listening to those. Yeah, hog remains. Usually my first power source, well, everyone's power source is the bio generators. Something you can't avoid. Now you can obviously with the pack utility mod you can avoid power issues at the start, especially if you just want to do creative building. It just gives you just power from the sky, whatever you want to call it. There's our limestone. And another hog. I usually call this one Eddie. Unknown file error. Okay. So Eddie it is, since no one seems to know what you're called. Where are we going to put this thing down? Let's have a look up here. Not exactly flat, but oh, that's what the horizontal red beacons are. That's a slug. That's a... Do you know what I did notice actually? Oh, there's one behind us. These beacons don't disappear after you pick. Oh, well, that one disappeared after we picked it up. I thought we picked up some stuff earlier that didn't disappear. Maybe it did. The white ones. Oh, there's a white one. Let me just test. Yeah, white ones aren't disappearing. Now, there is a way to turn that off. There's a command. I will have to, I will have to bring up, the mod. Let's see if I can remember which one it is. Let me just put us into the sort of pause menu. Right, let me check now. So I click on the Satisfactory mod manager. Let's have a look. Collectibles indicator. That's what it is. Let's see. What does it say? Turn it on or off. Enter. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. We found it. We found it. It's /CI. Here we go. Now we can get rid of it. Here, you hobo. Leave me alone. What did I ever do to you? Let me just have a quick look up here and see where the copper is. Here, something emanating, so that'll be one of the, probably the slugs. There are mods for turning off the gas that's emanating from over there to make it safe. Yeah, this looks like copper. And we got another hog to deal with. Apparently he doesn't like hugs. Anyway, right. Let me get chat on a different device so I can see what's happening. If anything, for that matter. There we go. Right, click at that, do that. Right, where was I? Copper. Yeah, so there's our first copper node. There is more, but until we get the hub down, I don't think we can scan, so. Where do we want to put the hub? Actually, let's put it here, this flat section here. Ideally, I prefer to put down a platform floor first, so I could technically give myself limestone or whatever, but I think until we actually unlock different things, we can't really do that. And then later on we'll have a chainsaw for cutting this down out of our way. Ah, here we go. Special. So normally in special you'd only see one or two things, but because of the mods it's added some loads of extras. Essential storage, unique. Oh yes, I'll show you that now in a second. Let's get this hub down. If I remember, I think I know what that one is. So again, this is what I was saying earlier about having a jetpack early, and then location mod UI thing on the showing where we're placing it, and maybe put that somewhere that's not overlapping it. Oh, did we do it? Missing hub parts. Oh, that's because we said a second thing. Yeah, this is my new favorite thing. I'm going to try now for the first time as well. That underground thing, but
congratulations, you have unlocked.
Nope.
Fifth objective.
Nope. Shoot. Don't need a director's commentary. Select milestone. Upgrade 1. Portable miner equipment. Inventory slots. That's added by a mod. So let's select that. Right, where is my bench? Yes, so this is the first bench you get that's built in. This is just a skeleton of the building for those who've never seen this, played the game before, or played it at all. So go over here. So we already picked up some iron and bits and pieces, so we need to make some ingots. Now normally it's not this fast. That's because of, I think it's because of one of the mods I enabled. So we need 10 rods. I'll explain what this thing does. So this is basically for when it turns plates into hard drives. Normally hard drives are well, they're not puzzles, but they're crashed pods around the map that you have to provide, I think it's power and certain items to, in order for them, for the cache that's inside of them to open up, that then gives you a hard drive. And then the hard drive then you use at, what is it? Is it the MAM machine that we have to build? It's basically like a research station or machine. Upgradable machines, I'm not sure. Oh yes, I think I know what that is, but we'll come back to that later. Right, so now that we've got that, we go to our hub terminal and we shift click 10 of 10, hit upgrade. So now we've got the frame has gone up.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Building Workshop Equipment. 6th objective, complete hub upgrade to...
Yeah, so let's go straight to upgrade 2, which gives us all of these. Yeah, so the tiered unlocking would allow you to upgrade your scanner for other materials. And click on that because we already had the stuff on us from the craft bench. There we go.
Congratulations, you have unlocked hub feature biomass burner.
Somewhere to store
Scanner
stuff.
feature,
So let's
copper,
throw
new buildings and recipes, which can be found in the build menu and craft bench respectively. 7th objective, complete hub upgrade 3. Note, connect buildings to a biomass burner for power. Note, buildings such as the smelter require a recipe to be set. Advice, automate the smelting.
Yeah, so once you get to this point, we have got our first biomass barn that's included in the hub. There's space for a second one that comes later. So basically you can throw anything and everything in. So you see one of the mods is given UI updates or gives more information. It says sync points and stacks 2 and energy. How much energy megajoules in one is 100 compared to this. So 15 versus 100. So that's wood that we collected. Stack 20,000. Okay. But it's turned off, so don't turn it on until you're ready to spend your generate power. We can't get rid of that greenery yet, but yeah, so one of the mods is central storage. It's only for the hub, and it's only for you, the person who created the game or is hosting. If you're doing co-op or on a server or whatever with friends, they won't see this. Excuse me. We'll have to come back to that later to see exactly how that will work, but from what I remember is you have to set up something that I think it's like conveyors going to a conveyor lift, which basically acts as almost like a teleporter. So for each one that you create and you send a different type of item towards, it then appears on this GUI. It'd just be handy for us as we start out doing this for like the copper and iron ore and whatnot, and then our first constructor machines outputs and stuff like that. What was I going to say? Right, what is next on this? Upgrade 3. Okay, select that. We may have enough materials on us. So normally all your ore needs to go to ingot form. There is one little caveat to that later on, where some recipes might actually want you to keep ore, so you can mix it with different ore types. I think there's a recipe for like iron ore and copper ore that gives a different output or ratio. And there's our wire, so we just need 20 of that. And we need more rods. We don't have enough, so let's grab some more. Right, I think that might be enough. Right, input those and off it goes. Oh yes, the resource scanner.
Congratulations. You have unlocked Scanner Feature, Limestone. New buildings and recipes, which can be found in the build 8th objective. Complete hub upgrade 4. Note, you
Hold down V. So there's limestone that just got added. Copper and iron. So we know copper is right over there. Oh. Okay, some up there. It's fair bet, right? Now, as I said, if you want to speed this up, if you're doing any kind of, if you want to do non-vanilla play, you can do give limestone 500, for example. So that's now in our inventory. So our next upgrade is cable, plates, and concrete. But in order to now, again, similar to what I just said, we could do give cable 400. If you make a typo, of course, it won't show up, but you see, can I actually do it over here? Yes, I can. So you make the wire, you turn the wire into cable, basically, is what it is. At, what's that? 1 to 2 ratio. And then it's similar for concrete. Give iron plate 400. So it's a nice quick way to get things up to a certain point. If you wanted to, as I said earlier, create your own custom map and then save it as a template so that you use it as a fixed point or starting point for future playthroughs.
Congratulations. You have unlocked building.
Even
conveyor
though
belts
we
and
have this
poles.
loaded with mods,
Inventory, additional slots. 9th objective.
just shade it. Even though we've loaded this with mods, if we do save the game at a later point to be a starting point, you can technically use that for vanilla playthroughs, because essentially every new build up to that new starting point is going to be vanilla stuff or stuff that's in the game anyway, regardless. Right, upgrade 5. What do we need for that? Okay, let's drop these in. Now, it won't always, this setting milestone and upgrading won't always be just click and it's done. Some of it is, what's the word? There's like a timer, countdown timer, and there's a pod that usually sits up top. So once we get to, I think it's the next upgrade, we'll see the pod up there. it's like a pod launcher, little transport thing that goes up and down. The question is where is it going up to? I think the simple answer to that is that there's the Fixit Corporation has a orbiting ship, essentially, because obviously the ship that sent us down here in a pod. So the pod that launches from the top of this goes up and down to it for upgrades. So it's licensing you for the upgrades and the tech that you unlock. So that's why there's a cost. At least that's the story or premise behind it. Right, so we need iron. Right, rather than go looking for iron, let's just get this done. Iron or 400. Right, and click. Let's see, did I give it to us?
Congratulations, you have unlocked Building Miner Mark 1. Building Storage Container. Hub feature Additional Biomass Burner.
Oh yeah, that's the
10th objective,
one back around here.
Complete Hub Upgrade 6. Note, there are no notes.
The notes are a lie. Okay. This is what it gives us in the next unlock. Select. Oh, actually, I just remembered. I think we have a mod that's no. Where is it? I think we have a mod loaded that gives us like a quick start type of items. Maybe we haven't unlocked it yet. Oh, there's the central storage input I was talking about earlier. Sushi maker. I don't know what that's from. Logistical hubs. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, here's the prop and decoration mod. There's two of those mods actually. Fire sprinkler. Transform from moving train, roads. This is one particular mod, but there is another mod that adds other road types in as well that just isn't showing up yet. One click building, yes. Fancy looking doors. Is this the wire mod? Secretary. Simple signs. Yeah, we still have to figure out all of this. You can only have one. Takes 5 minutes to build and enable interacting in 5 minutes. Huh. Where do we put that? Maybe build that after we put down a foundation floor. Right, pop that in. There's no XP system in this game, so by doing this we're not gaining XP in any way. Ah, there we go. I hear it coming.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Building Space Elevator, Building Biomass Burner, Part Biomass. Motivational message, congratulations, you succeeded in every provided task. On behalf of Fixit Incorporated, I thank you for your current and future service. Additional knowledge. The hub terminal has been converted to give access to milestones there to ensure you progress along Fixit-approved protocols. Note,
Screw protocol.
future developments should...
Doing it my way. So some of the mods have added in other milestones at different tier levels. Early game blueprint designer. Infinity milestones. Gives us inventory slots. More. Infinity 2. Fakio or Faco welcome hammer. What is that actually? It's modding Aquila. Oh, this is Aquila is Anders, or I'll probably not pronounce his name right, but I think it's Anders or Andres. Grinded copper ore, melting furnace, copper frames. Yeah, there's some nice cosmetic build stuff in here. Oh yeah, that's got reinforced iron plates in there. Copper hex. Yeah, some of these mods have also added in non-vanilla ores for their own machines and stuff. So yeah, I mean, like, there's no set ore to this. I just typically just get the normal vanilla ones done quickly. Same with these ones in here. So this one, these two, I think. Oh, no, actually, no. Sorry. They're, I think that's a mod that added those. Yeah, all of this is mod stuff, I think. Yeah, these are all props anyway. Or related to that props mod. Part assembly, yes. Logistics Mark 2. Obstacle clearing, yes. This is the other thing we mentioned earlier. What did I ask for? Screws. I think we have some stuff on us for screws. Not enough. Alright, give screws 500. Right, what's happened there now is it's giving me the wrong thing. I think it's... Is it screw? No, hold on. Give screw 500. There we go. Just need to make sure you're asking for the right thing. So now...
Milestone reached. Biofuel will ensure maximum efficiency of biomass burners.
There goes the
Today
pod.
in biofuel production, you are now capable...
So the pod then goes off, and I think it's taking those resources and it's basically sending it back to the Fixit ship that's up in space orbiting, and then you get your license then gets unlocked essentially for the next part, or for whatever that was. It building space elevator. No, actually that's not what we picked on, is it? No, I think we selected something else, but anyway. Right, so we're at the stage now where I think we can do Mark 1 miners. We can also do logistics. No, where is it? Oh yes, equipment workshop. But what I prefer is if I do pick an area for the hub, I prefer to have a platform, like a floor. So let me see, do we have foundations unlocked yet? We don't, but we do have these mods. Now these mods, if I remember right, I think you have to have the materials already in your inventory. But if we had creative mode turned on, it should just build it in theory. Sample building, middle mouse button. Okay. Make a simple building in a quick way. Make floors inside the factory using this to stack them. Yeah, that's not what I want for the hub. Question now is why do we not see foundations on that list? Could be foundations are not showing because it's under base building. Yes, there it is. So we can select that as our next one, but we can't do that until that pod comes back. Now we do of course have the command options to unlock all of this from the very start. Again, if you want to do a custom build or custom starting point, you could do that, save the game, and then again it should open in vanilla as unlocked if you run that command. Yeah, that information at the top of the screen. That's another mod.
Exchange concluded.
It's calling it a freighter instead of a pod, but anyway. So you got the time played so far. The 9:58. What is that? I don't know. Not sure what the middle one is. I know the one on the right is the actual local time. In 24-hour format, I think. Yeah, it would be. It is 2023. Everyone should be using 24-hour format. Right, there's our base building, waiting for resources. I don't know, they're from a mod, so we don't need those at the moment, so I'm getting rid of them. Oh, need more. What did they call it? Concrete, wasn't it?
Milestone reached. You have unlocked several structures aimed to provide the first needed to build basic factory infrastructure and improved overview. Building these will provide a grid for more advanced organizing and...
Let's see that we know. For those who don't know, actually, you can use foundations on top of a resource node. So the thinnest one is that one. Let's go with the 2-meter one. There's 2 nodes. Remember, how do we switch build? Build mode, is it? Or, okay, zoop. Let's try that again. You click and hold, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Click and hold. Hold on, I want to put down that. Then put down a ramp. That gets us up to this level. Switch back to that. 8x2. I think there's a unlimited zoop mod as well, actually, where it removes a lot of limits. Now we don't have enough concrete on us, but we can fix that. What I want to do is just get this initial floor down, and then I can start thinking about where I'm going to put things, particularly the hub. Initially we will be moving it, and you'll probably find you'll end up having to move it multiple times, but you still want it to be accessible. Right, that'll do for now. Yeah, they all come back. But no, at least we're a nice clean area. There is a little mini game on one of these screens. I think it's this one here. What else is there? Yeah, now central storage. You mentioned that earlier. For central storage, you need to place a unit, this one here. So this is the other reason why I wanted to move put down the floor and move the hub. So this is what actually acts as the central storage. Looks like a freight container. We'll just stick it there. I think you can only have one anyway. Yes. So it's just a building that you can't really do anything with, but you need to have it down. I think what it does is it works like an infinity storage. Now you still won't see anything there yet, and you'll see now in a moment why. So we've got two nodes here. Now we could have used the thicker foundations and still be able to place, although there is a limitation even on that. Production miner. Portable miners we haven't made yet, so to make the portable miner, equipment workstation. So let's put that somewhere out of the way. Don't worry about making things pretty or overly organized early on. For those familiar with modded Minecraft and how they do all this sort of kind of things and the mods that they have, Multi-Dimensional Factory is, I can't remember the name of the mod, but it's essentially a compact shrunken machines unit where you would, in modded Minecraft, you'd have a tool. You place the what looks like a cube box type of thing, and you have a tool in your hand. You click it, and the next thing you're teleported inside of it. So this multi-dimensional means it's kind of the same idea, as it says, adds buildings, place them down, walk in, build your factories inside. So we'll show that now in a moment. Let's just get a miner set up. Sorry, portable miners. Do we even have enough for that yet? Harvester attachment. This is, again, I mentioned this earlier, for the biomass stuff, collecting it. Miners. Okay, we've made 4. See, it snaps. It also goes blue, bluey green, whatever you want to call it. And then there's another one here. Again, you might want to consider where things are placed and what way they face if you're trying to aggregate or aggregate storage from, say, multiple miners into a storage unit. That's typically how I started playing it. Was I just put these down and then I build loads of storage containers and just funnel all the ore in. Just going to point it out that way for now, because we can undo all of this in a moment. Right, so based on the elevation change here, there's another 2 nodes. So if I go back to foundations, ramp. This ramp size, 2 meters, I prefer because it's more gradual. It's only important if you're planning on actually driving around and stuff, but at least that's how I look at it. But anyway, let's see. Right, pressing E and it's cycling through the different ramps. Let's click on maybe that one. Trying to get a sense of how high up this is as to how high I want to go with the ramp. Or do I even want to go with a ramp for that matter? But for now, yes. Now, yellow I think means clipping. Yeah. There's Zoop still turned on, but not to worry. Let's actually, yeah, let's go up another. Sort of see what that looks like height wise. I think we might get away with what we're trying to do. See the way this is much deeper. You just click. Right. Oh, go back in. You can, of course, put these down on the action bar. I'm just not bothering with that as of yet. So as long as this is not too deep, we should be able to place a miner down there. So let's see, we might need to go to make more of those, I know we have enough. There we go. It's going blue. So that is actually working the way we want it to. Again, for this area, I'm not sure what direction we want it going in, but for now, we'll just point it out that way. As you can see, the way this is stepped up, it's not really nice, but go with foundation 1, I think. Oh, we're out of iron plates. Hold on. Now you can either step it up or let's see, will that fit? No, you see, you can't. You actually have to do it kind of like that. There we go. Turn it round. So, right, that's a couple. That's 4 nodes for iron. Now, do you remember I said? Where was it? It's under. Is it special? No, that's not it. Awesome sink. No, that's not it either. I'm looking for storage. No, not storage container. Essential storage input. Now, I don't know if these will snap in the way we want them to, but this is a very simple example of how this works. So let's set that up with that. Need some power, so let's do, what's this, early power storage. Oh yeah, 50 megawatts for 1 hour. It just means that when you're setting up biomass burners, that you're not wasting it. Essentially, you're able to store some of it. megawatts, yeah. Burns various forms. Full blast has no input and must be fed biomass manually. Yeah. What are we looking for there? Copper wire. There we go, that's starting up. So we'll use this as a very basic example. So there it is, starting to mine. So this miner to central storage input for the central storage mod. So you remember we built this freight container, I guess we'd call it. Yeah, we're not using those biomass burners yet. See? So now it's showing configure. So now we've got our first one coming in. You can set a mass quantity on this, so I'm going to set that to, I don't know, 5,000. Now you're probably thinking, well, what's the point of this? You can literally just click and grab what you want. Now imagine you've then go and you build constructors and refineries, and you set one of each up with a central storage input for the output that comes from them. You could literally have it all feed into here and just grab from it as you need to. Now then the question becomes as well, okay, so is that just for player use? I think it is, because I don't think you can take out from it to go to machines, but we haven't ruled that out just yet. There may be more to it. So yeah, so that machine is going to do that. So we've got these 3 nodes, we've got the 2 nodes over there that aren't capped. We probably should try and get a limestone one set up as quickly as, which is that one there. The copper, of course, is over there as well. So yeah, that just gives you an idea as to what that mod can do. Right, what else is there? I think, what do we want to show next? I suppose we should probably start with an actual factory, which typically at this stage, at this early point in the game, you want to get your iron and your copper and your limestone, and then you want to start processing that into usable resources and then components and whatnot. So typically you'd want to start storing what's, for say, from these 3 miners into storage, and then create a factory line. Now, considering the mods I have enabled, I'm just trying to think what is the best way to start that. One little tip would be logistics, the lift. Covered and hooded, I can't remember what the difference between those is, but typically anything that moves creates affects the server tick, which affects the frames per second, etc. So if it's covered, that's a good thing. But the lifts in particular are a really great way of, if you have miners that are close enough to each other and you can't really get them all, there's not enough room to have them all facing the same way, to being able to, what's the word, consolidate the output. Or maybe you want to build a floor above them to consolidate the resources. You could do that too. There's another mod that's installed that allows you to output from a conveyor, and then kind of like these lifts, you can do like an underground connection, kind of similar to Factorio, if you've ever played Factorio. But you can do things like this where you turn the output to face a certain way. You can also put splitters and mergers onto these. So the question now is where do we put our first storage container so that we could merge all of these into it? I'm thinking just drop it there towards the front. So now we need to figure out, well, how are we going to do this? So I don't know if we have mergers unlocked at the very start. Hub output, hub input, space for 2 stacks. Oh, it's a drone. Yeah, haven't figured out how this works yet. Redistributes one type of material between inputs and outputs. Has 100 stacks. Oh yeah, we should have a look at that. But anyway, let's stick to the simple example for now. So I don't think we're at the point where we actually have splitters and mergers on the go. Probably need to go back to our hub, or hub, what's it called, terminal. Some mods add extra terminals that you can place down anywhere. So I just want to do all the vanilla ones first. Here we go, logistics, that's it.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to increase the complexity and efficiency of your factory. We encourage you to consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short-range transportation. The productivity.
So there's a custom one from one of the mods where you can actually create your own nodes. Simple example of that would be you could build a platform and then place nodes on it and then place your miners. So you could literally have things nice, and if you're OCD, I guess, you could have things just nicely lined up, and yeah, that's one way of using that. Or you could just go and put iron nodes and whatever nodes in any location randomly around the map. Again, if you're doing a custom, maybe you want to do a custom map with custom nodes, jump pads. I normally have skipped this one because I never really have a use for it. This would be this is vanilla as well, but we need to wait for that to come back anyways. So now that we've got those on, where are they? They're in here somewhere. Here we go. Merger splitters. I don't know what the sushi is. Select the items and quantity you want to let pass. Oh, okay. Not sure how we could use that, but anyway. So, merger. This is a very basic setup usage of this. So, green arrow is the out. So let's use middle mouse button. Right, so that's connected. There's that manta flying over. Oh yeah, what's the button for going up? Is it that? Oh right, so the first click is, yeah, where you're stopping, but then don't do the second click until you move the mouse up. There we go. It won't look pretty, but hey, it's connected. That's the important part. We haven't powered these up yet either, so don't worry about that, because not a problem at the moment. Little mouse button is doing this. Then click and then bring it over. Can't afford. What is it looking for? Is it rods? Rod for. There, this gives me a good opportunity to show something that I don't know if we've unlocked it yet, but what was it called? It was wall passable or conveyor passable? So see the way this is blocking our ramp access. Let me see if it's in here yet. Might be later on that we see it getting unlocked. No, it's not there. Not there yet. I like this. You do, as I say, it's like City Skylines, putting down props to customize the area, and the cost is cheap, so which is nice. What else have we got there? There we go. See? Yes, we were trying to set up 1, 2, 3. This one. Like, we're not being too fussy about how it's set up because we just want this for demonstration purposes. What is that? Oh, can't afford. What are we missing? Iron plates. Right. So once we set up power for these 3, let's see what do we want to consolidate power? Might as well. So we're using, or we use the early power storage. Right. What's it looking for? Biomass modular frame. Right, try that again. Stick it somewhere that's not in the way. In fact, do you know what we're going to do? Just for the sake of showing this working. So I think, is that already working? Maybe not. Actually, no, that won't work for what we're trying to do. So, hold on. Creative power. Turned it off. Yeah, you'll see it. Yeah, sorry, because I was trying to actually do was. So we need to cut this power line because you only have one connection. Ah, that's better. Yeah. Right, now that power line, send it to the storage. Okay, 72. Now, technically, the right way to do this would be take that out. Gee, I don't know what the number of connections on this is. Or maybe there isn't. Don't know. Anyway, bring a line back to here. That's the correct way to connect it up. Ah, right. So there is only, so there's one in and one out. Okay, so at least we, and the pole does up to 4, so we could bring one of these over here. So that should let us do what we want to do. Yeah, a little trick. Remember, it's max connections of 4 on the first tier of poles. So remember, it's -1 because you have to have an input of power. So creating extra poles fixes that problem. There we go. It's all coming alive. Coming alive now. Right, 1, 2, and 3 should be coming up now in a moment. There we go. And we have a mod that puts signs on the containers so you can see percentage, what's in there, what's the maximum on the container. We do have another mod that does better screens and signs for that kind of stuff, but anyway, for now, that's all we want. Give wood. Just want to top this up. Yeah, it's only 200 max you can put in there. Typically, one of the things for using biomass as the early power, you want to kind of unlock the what am I trying to say? You want to unlock the better biomass options as quickly as you can, and as part of that, then you would want to set up a factory line for creating the actual fuel, solid fuel, I think it is. A simple example would be, let me just show, grab, where is it? Production, crafting bench, stick you in the corner. So what I'm getting at here is, oh yeah, there it is, solid biofuel is already unlocked. So that's leaves and wood. So you'd set up a machine that takes, well, 2 different machines, one for leaves, one for wood, and have them output the biofuel. For now, I'm just going to do this. If I ran out of space or something. Oh, we need to get rid of this stuff out of my inventory. If I go back to the hub. Another thing I would say in terms of tip and trick is early on get as many as this of the miners going and storing iron and copper, and just when you're not actually playing, leave the game running for a couple of hours, but just make sure you have enough storage units that are all cascaded or stacked or whatever, so that in the 3-4 hours or whatever you're going to let it run in the background while you're, I don't know, at school, at work, whatever, that when you come home or you're ready to return to it, you will have loads of basic resources or basic ore. Okay, let's get rid of that. Right. Just while we're here, what are we waiting on for this resource sink bonus? So a resource sink is basically send any and all items that you don't want into it to generate tickets. Then you use those tickets on another machine you have to build that unlock other parts or other things you could use for building and construction. It's a bit annoying the way it does it that way, because there's certain build items in there that you really do want as part of your basic build. So right, let's give Wire for concrete. Bunch of chewy.
Milestone reached. You have been given early access to the anti-waste effort for stress testing of materials on exoplanets bonus program. Funneling parts into the awesome resource sink, depending on their amount and complexity, will grant you coupons in the awesome store, which can be exchanged for bonus rewards.
There we go. Awesome
Examples
shop.
of
Awesome
bonus
sink.
content are parts, walls, factory attachments, and cosmetics.
Right, we need some screws. Somewhere out of the way. Okay, pimp manufacturer, that's a mod. There's RSS, simple signs, gun and swatch. Oh, okay, I didn't realize these were all under this. Sign poles, flat screens. Ooh, or flat signs even. Rounded signs. Oh, that's cool. Throwing signs. That is really cool. Organizations. Is this some of the basic ones? Flood lighting. Light control panels. Medical box. Hazard box. Conveyor ceiling mount. Oh, interesting. Unavailable just means we haven't got unlocked whatever tier or whatever those are from. Very swanky. Chairs. Fix it specials. Go music. Boombox tip. Oh, there's the boombox. Equipment. I've seen a mod that has other cups. Biomass. Not sure why you would want to use tickets for that, but anyway. Customizer. Coated concrete. Okay, different looks. Oh, that's cool. Architecture. Structural. Powered beam Mark II connections. Oh, this just looks really fancy. More structural things. Yeah. So I guess you're probably wondering, well, surely you need what you need early on, and don't want to be wasting resources. So yeah, you're kind of right, but what I would say is things that you can effectively throw in is, I suppose, the bio stuff where you run around grabbing the leaves and the grass and whatever. Limestone even might be something to consider. So this is the autumn sink. This is what you need to put it into. Now obviously we haven't set up for doing reinforced plates. Let me think, what does it give? Reinforced plate 200. Okay, it's probably not called that. Give reinforced piston. No. Oh, there it is. It actually tells you. Oh, there's a small version as well. Awesome sink terminal. Got excess resources, fear not. So it turns items into research data. So what's the sync terminal then versus... Oh, I wonder... So each item has a different value, I guess, in terms of research data points. Let's try building this before building the other. Saves a lot of space. Potentially it might save space, but then again it might not. No, I can't build it on the hub. Ah, right. You do have to. So much for that idea. Right. See, as I said, they're not small. So there's just input, there's no output. And it needs power. Now it's got power. Click on the pole and see what are we generating versus what we're consuming. Well, the reason they look to have stopped is because I bet you the storage is full. Okay, that one's... Yeah, so it is moving. Oh no, it's not full. Yeah, because it's not taking it in quick enough. So this is why upgrading the belts is important. Just conveyor. Yeah, we're still on Mark 1. We'll deal with that momentarily, but for now... Now, of course, we could stick wood into these two and connect it up to the pole as well. Now, I just realised the output from that energy storage, we have it going into this pole here, and then there's a link on across. So the two generators on the hub, you would really want connected to that circuit that's feeding that. So I'm going to do this a dirty way, but let's just bring a pole across here. No, do not connect it to that one. And for the sake of... Yeah, let's put it down like that. And then connect these up to it. So your three points of generation are now connected on the same circuit that's feeding into that. And I don't know if we've wood on us. We do. Actually, sorry, take the wood out. So the biofuel is better. Remember we were saying earlier about the so that gives you the energy output. What one is a stack. So what's that? 15, 100, 450. Yeah, so solid biofuel is much better. So let's go throw some in the other generator over here. There you go. Now we could just convert all what we have on us. As I said, you could set up a factory line for converting these all into solid biofuel. Where is it? This one. Alright, let's convert all of that. That's all getting converted into wood. Or, no, sorry, not wood. Biomass. Now the biomass converted into biofuel. Yeah, so these indicators, green and yellow. Green means it's doing it, and there's... It's just... How am I trying to say? It's like an efficiency indicator. It can be related. It can be related to power. It can be related to belts backing up. Is basically what that is. So because we've got 3 lines merging, that's what's causing that. Is there any configurable output options on this? Oh, there is. What have we got here? Time until full, storage charge, charge rate. Okay, that does not look like it's storing. Now, it's possible that the current version of the mod with the current version of the experimental might not be working. That's always a possibility. But it is relaying the power regardless, so... So, do we have our sync set up? We do, right. It says next standard points until next coupon 1,000. DNA points. I don't know if that's part of vanilla or if it's something else. Can we shift click? No, you can't. So usually, because you can't shift click and add stuff in, you would want to set up a container. Location of the containers. This is going to be the thing now. This is just a dirty example, but anyway, do that. And literally throw anything and everything you want in. Now obviously these will have different values and... There we go. Let's see what's it doing. Yeah. So different things have different values, so they will drop this number quicker. And the quicker it drops, the quicker you get your first coupon. Like I would imagine some of the examples of things that will make that more valuable is things that are more rarer. So probably the berries, the hog hide, the power slugs, if it even accepts those. I'm not even sure. The nuts. Oh yeah, and of course the pod drops that have the hard drives in them and other items lying around them, like tech that you haven't unlocked yet, basically, because at those pod drops you'll find higher tech items, and if you throw them in early game, it will give you loads of coupons. Well, I say loads in relation to the amount of points that they're worth per item. Alright, we can leave that running for now. The only concern with doing the sync early on is you need to watch your power usage. So we're... Consuming production... Is that correct? Capacity is 70. Max consumption is 50. Anyway, just be careful of that. Don't overbuild unless you've got plans for plenty of power production. There we go. There's 3 mixed items. Hold on. There's 3 reinforced plates going in. Let's have a look. Yeah, we got 4 coupons. Yeah, look at the massive drop now in that with those reinforced iron plates going in. Okay. And then the awesome sync terminal. Like, this is added by a mod, I think. Yeah, so here you can keep an eye on, and you can actually print coupons directly. So it means you can locate this anywhere. All the places that you might want to spend. And then our shop. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's print the coupons. Oh, we've got 6 already. Let's print the 6. Go around to the shop. Right, what do we want to unlock first? Oh, there's a light pack. Very swanky. Catwalk with ladder hole. Oh, okay. Stuff to consider for later. Vents. Conveyor hold vent. Okay. Right, let's go to walls. Conveyor walls. Yeah, see, you don't get these straight away, so you kind of have to unlock them. Automated gate. Oh, that's cool. Unavailable. Unlocked by researching. It tells you then what you have to research. I like that. That's really cool. Right. Conveyor walls is a priority, I would say. Add to cart. You can add multiple things to the cart and then check out. Buy all. Right. What next? Top these up. I suppose, is it worth showing doing the basic automation of the solid fuel stuff? Well, since we haven't done any real kind of factory stuff yet, might as well. So if you're someone who likes to do compact things, the mod I mentioned earlier, which gives you multi-dimensional factory, this will be the one we'll want to do. Now we need some cables according to that screen, so again, normally you'd go over here and you'd have your whatever stuff created and built. Right, make some more cables, or use pack utility to mod to do it. Call it cheating all you want, it is what it is. We're playing modded, not vanilla, so I don't care. Now those bushes that are sticking up, I think we mentioned this briefly earlier. We put down the equipment bench over here, workshop even. Chainsaw. What do we want to do? How do we do that? And there's a harvester attachment as well that I want to do. Portable miner and a rotor. Okay. Well, we don't have the tractor yet. Oh, it tells you can't be sunk. That means you can't put it into the awesome sink. That's nice. So that's another mod that's giving that extra info. And it tells us the sink points as well, actually, for 1. That's cool. I like that. That way you can kind of prioritize stuff then, if you know what it's worth. We're 6 for 2 120 24 48 408 for those modular frames. Okay. Well, I pulled them from creative mode, as they call it, so I'll chuck them in for now. Actually, do you know what we should have done? Pull those out. There's a container in here. Now we can actually make more of these, I think, with a different mod. Just have them here for filling up these two. Yeah, I'm not sure what what the difference is with these, but that's iron plate and rods missing. Oh, I tapped E and it's showing me this. Oh, ground version means it shows an example of maybe what's in it. Could that be it? Or you drop it on the ground and it's picked up. Or represents what's in it within those four corners. That could be what it is actually. Well, we don't have them, so let's just do this quickly. Yeah, let's just see what this looks like in comparison to just the box. Okay, let's see. Oh, it does. Oh, but it's only showing the first type. Oh, I see what you could do. You could put a row of these basically in an area like a little warehouse type of. I suppose for cosmetic use more than nothing else. But I'm wondering, can you pick? Oh, there they are. Sorry, I didn't even notice those sitting there. Oh, I wonder. Does this? Oh, it does. See the rows. So the rows correspond to, well, okay, that one did, but the other didn't. Oh, there, yeah, it's done it now, it's moved it. So by that same logic, does that mean that we could... We moved them, yeah. So it looks like it takes a couple of seconds for it to update. That's cool. I don't know whether it's just a visual thing or can you come up and grab stuff? Oh yeah, you can click on it or press E while facing it to interact. That's cool. It is kind of more of a cosmetic thing, but anyway, at least it feels that way. Right, what else were we trying to show? Oh yes, our first factory, but we wanted to leverage multi-dimensional. So now we have the items on us for that. But we need to make a bigger floor, put it on. So we might have to move this because I'm not sure how this is going to work with the resources we need and want. We might need to build out there or go up. So when I first started playing this, I didn't really do much verticality at all. I was more just kind of spreading things out on a horizontal plane. So I think we're going to go up for the sake of demonstration purposes. Covered. Now we need to clear the height on these. Plus that one over there is higher. So where do we want to build it? Foundations. Go for the tin one. Might as well. And we're going to build a ramp system up as well. But for now, just need to get up high enough and see where we want to start this out. Now, beware alignment. If you build a platform like this and then you go off somewhere, say above like there, and you start building out, it's not going to be aligned to the one on the ground. Simple as is. So what you can do is you can build temporary basic wall. go to the edge of one of these. It doesn't really matter which. Just click it and go straight up. Right, so now we've got it's kind of like a visual measurement and see where the floors can be placed based on the position of that vertical wall you just built. So if you look from here, then if we go to foundation, you can kind of get an indication of how clear or close you are to it. See, so that one's gone from yellow now to green because we've gone up one position. So that means there's nothing blocking that particular one. So you could consider that your first floor. Then, what about resources you're bringing from over this side, north of the map? Maybe you would want another floor above. So bear in mind that 2 walls up in terms of height is probably not going to be enough clearance. But that doesn't say you can't do it. You can always change it later. You're not limited to it. And there's also no structural integrity issues with using only one vertical wall. Yeah, I know. I don't know why they didn't build that into the game, but I suppose they're thinking of as you're on a foreign planet, and why would you need it? So you could use this for bringing coal from the north, if need be. Building a power station here to move. I tend to build the power plants where the coal is, as a strategy more than anything else. Right, let's jump down here now. We need more light. What's that? Concrete. Again, for demonstration purposes only. And that's from the pack mod. Later we'll have some glass floors and transparent walls and stuff like that. So you don't need to get too hung up on not having natural light below us. Now, actually, I'm not going to fill that in yet because... Where's the output? Oh yeah, there's the minor output. That's that one. So that one's going into our central storage, but we're going to be doing away with that. So you've got conveyor lifts, obviously. But we've got 3 miners going into that storage over there. Now there's a couple of ways of doing this. So in vanilla, normally you would just build conveyor lift, and bring resources up to this floor. There are mods that allow you to do what's called conveyor lift points that look like, well, they look like conveyor lift endpoints, and they can teleport between, and you set like an ID or a number or a name or whatever on it, so you can teleport resources from your storage to a factory floor, for example. For the sake of vanilla purposes only, we are going to go to conveyor lift here, and we're going to click once, bring it up, turn it around. Now the height on this is probably going to be wrong, but I'm going to do it this way anyway. Back to foundations. Bring that across. Right. So there's our resources coming out of storage. Let's finish putting down a floor here. Don't want to go too big because because we're going to try out that multi-dimensional factory thing. You really don't need an awful lot of space for what we're going to do with this, but we're missing iron plates, I think it said. One thing to bear in mind when you're up high like this is you might want to not have any corners or edges that aren't filled in, because if you can fall, if you're not in God mode, for example, you will die. Right, okay, that's that. So that's storage from 3 miners is coming up. We will put down a splitter, merger, etc. as we need to. But for now, actually, might as well do that. The first part of that now, splitter. Yeah, you're probably wondering, why is he putting down a splitter? I'm putting down a splitter because this is potentially going to feed the multiple factories that I haven't placed yet. Right, back to special, I think it is it? Ah, here we go. Okay, production. Right. Where do we want to put the first one? So, as you can see, 4 inputs, 1 output. But for what we're about to do, we're only going to be really using, well, it'll be one ore, so I suppose so it's not really going to matter. Just trying to think, where do we want to place this in relation to that? Is aligning to, is that the middle? I can't tell. So that green line is appearing. It's only aligning to one of the 2 middle parts of it. Yellow. Okay. You can still place when it's yellow, I should point out, so don't worry about that. Now, configure multi-dimensional factory. The reason why I pulled it back was because I didn't want it going into the rock, because that's the output. So if that's the output, stick a conveyor lift on it. Obviously the covered versions are not vanilla. I wonder if these factories actually stackable. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. You'll see why in a moment. That would be a benefit. So, if this is only going to convert ore to ingots. Ah, there we go. So you click E and we've teleported inside. Now you're probably thinking, where the hell are we? I can't remember what it said, but I'm pretty sure we are somewhere on the map that you don't normally get to see. And that kind of weird circular thing, that's caused by the fog. So, I can't remember how you bring up, can you bring up a console mode or whatever it is? Whatever the console mode is, I think it's or.fog space 0. Does that do it? Yeah, I don't know if you can use that in chat. Yeah, I noticed there's a PowerPoint up there. So that's how you can feed power into it. And here's the 4 inputs. You're probably thinking, well, okay, what are we going to do with this? So typically the first thing you do, even in vanilla, is you need to process the iron ore. Which means we need production and we need smelters. Now, normally you'd be building multiple smelters. So with that said, you want a splitter. Okay, where's the splitters? I do there. I'm going to add these onto our action bar. Right, so for each one, now we know we've got a splitter out there that's only actually going to be able to fill 3 inputs from the outside. So with that said, Why don't we put the first splitter down on this one? Now, because this is a mod, it's not going to show us the green line. But that's close enough. Ish, is it? Let me see. It's a little off center, but as long as we can connect up, it's not going to matter. So then you do this. Stick a merger on the end for where the, actually no, put down the smelter. Be something like this. They usually have, oh yeah, they have a green line for alignment as well. Can't remember, there is like a minimum distance you should try and keep them to. Anyway, we'll do that. Is it 5 or is it, no, it's split, yeah. So orange for the last one, which is obviously this one on this side, you have to put it down. You see the green line, click. Yeah, these aren't neat and tidy, but for again demonstration purposes, we don't give a shit. Splitter, yep, there we go. You see 2 green lines, so the green line moving away from you, it tells you how it's facing towards this side. So you could build out a few there. Those, let's say 3. So 1 input, 3 smelters. Can we get the green line? Yes, we did. It's just me, or is that off? Yeah. It's not. It's at an angle. Anyway. So normally I would say for the splitter that's on the conveyor should be the center smelter of a set of 3. Okay, let's move that. Is that, can we try and line it up a bit? Yeah, there we go. You just rinse and repeat that then for the other inputs. Then smelt or splitter even. Once you see the 3 green lines, you know it's snapping to it properly. In the past, that wasn't a thing. So let's go back out and show how that's... Right, oh, butts on top, right, okay. So, remember there's 3 outputs, 1 input. That's number 2 actually, and that's the first. That's number 3. Now, power connector. We need to be careful that we're producing enough power as well. Probably going to have to extend our power generation. Now remember our whatchamacallit is down below us. The this power storage. Maybe we should have considered building a couple of those, but remember you can't do multiple connections onto that. There's only 2. There's the one in and there's the one out. So the one that's going out would be like these. This is dirty, but we'll do it anyway. That brings power up to here. Put down a second one for future expansion easily, and that looks like it's going to connect to connector over there on that side where the yellow part is. There we go, that's our power connected to the building. So it's actually going in on the first one because there's something taken in. And we go back in and see it's coming in through here. Now obviously these aren't powered, so what we have to do now for that, despite the fog in the game, is this power connector here corresponds to the input. So I'm thinking yeah, we haven't set any recipes on it, or blueprints, whatever you want to call them, on these. You can do it, look, there's a copy paste feature from Factorio that copy, but I don't know, doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, you just switch tab and then go paste. Right, so that's them doing their thing. Check our power. Okay, we're okay at the moment. That's because the other stuff is backing up, and that's why it's not as active. We're going to run out of power soon if we don't expand. But anyway, as I say, this was only really meant to show a basic example. Now I probably should have built it on this end so we could just go straight to the output and show you. But imagine recreating that the whole way across. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set up a single merger and send the output in this direction. I usually use the rule of three smelters to 1 or to 2 constructors. So right, that should be enough. Do that. Okay, that's a bit far. If you end up getting tight for space, just, you know, play around with it. So there's 3 into 1 for the merger. So then put down a splitter. So you're going from a merger to a splitter, like that. Again, you don't need too much distance between them. Now we need a constructor, 2 of them. Line those up. You'll figure out the spacing yourself. It'll just, you know, if you want to make things cleaner looking, whatever. Don't worry about it too much. Now we need to set the blueprints for these. So iron plates. So typically in this case, because there's 3 components, you'd want to create this setup 3 times, because you'd want these 2 to just do iron plates, second one group to do rods, and the third to do screws. Or just set this up to do the same item and then build other factories to do the others. So now we're going from these 2 to was it a merger? Something like that. Now, let's say you had a complete row of multiples of these set up. You could just set up a conveyor to come out of them all and then merge along merge along here somewhere. But for the sake of what I'm trying to do, show just a simple example and not start building the whole thing out. Something like that. Let me see, where is that? That's about there. As I said, so the way this would work is you would put a, what would this be, a splitter? No, this would be a merger at the end and have it feed to that. So as I said, from each group of constructors, have them merge onto this line. So they all go to this one on the end, and then from this one to the output. And that's the gist of that. So then you're probably thinking, well, if this is making all iron plates only. Okay, so it looks like you have to aim at the inputs or the outputs to get out of the room. There we go. Now, we didn't put the lift in, but if we did... Is it logistics conveyor lift one? Yeah, there we go. Just trying to get an angle on it to... Yeah, there it is. And there we have it. That would be your main output. Let's if we do that, we should start to see them coming out. There we go. There's one. And I just fell off. Nope. It doesn't like me trying to jump up there. You could just do this as just for pure visual, just to be able to see what's happening. Now you can see what's coming out of that factory. So then what we might be able to do, can we place, oh, missing iron plates, right. Ironically, that's what's coming up the conveyor. Let's see, can we stack these? Yeah, so I think the only way you're going to be able to stack these is build a floor. By the looks of it. But what I am thinking though is you could have one of these each for the different iron factories that's required for the different components. Create ones for limestone to concrete, copper ore to copper ingots, and etc. Obviously none of this is lined up, but again you could place this based on where this center output is. So this center output could be input number 2. Just remember that left to right, it's only this one on the right that actually is closest to the output. It would be nice if there was multiple outputs actually, if you're going to have 4 in 4 out. Maybe someone's already done this with another mod. This multi-dimensional factory looks like it's based on, is it the advanced modular frames machine? I think that's what that model is based on. So that was that part. What other mods is there that we can see how we can incorporate them? power switch. Can we switch on off to this enable disable connection between two power grids? Note the location of the A and B connection. Right, so let's see, can we give an example of where to use this? So based on what we currently have set up, let me see, number 7, yeah, add that to the action bar. So currently we have set up miners and obviously what's going into the manufacturing above. But what if we wanted, if power is going low, what would you want to prioritize? In this scenario, I would say you want to keep your miners going so that the storage keeps getting filled up. Now that storage is now at max. There is a mod, actually there's at least 2 mods I can think of where they do bigger storage containers. There's one that does infinite. Now I did turn off the infinite one before I loaded this up. I don't think we have them either installed or unlocked on the tier system yet, so that's why we don't see them. But you can use, you can stack these storage containers, so you have your in, out. The next one you put on top, it becomes in on this side and out on this side, and you just keep doing that. That's a way of creating a simple, cheap buffer, which is another thing, and a good concept idea to get used to for buffering things. Particularly, you know, it's good to have a buffer to feed into smelters so that they don't run out, or at least don't run out too quickly. There we go, see, it's automatically facing it this way. If I go up again, it'll swap it around, and again, and again. So we could actually switch this over by breaking this connection temporarily. And then what we do is, I don't have this in my action bar, but logistics, put that into number 8. So 8 is going to click here, turn it around, get it connected to that one. Right, that one to that one. That one to that one, and keep going until you get up to the top. Oh, hold on, what happened there? Yeah, see the way the sleeve connects? That's how you know it's connected. Now for this one, let me see here. Sometimes you might have to delete what you already built previously. So you could click it once and then have a system for getting up there. Now, which brings us nicely to that very topic. How can we get up there quickly without having to build ugly ramps and whatever? So what I would suggest using is the stackable pole. I don't see the worst of it. Is there the vanilla one here? I don't see it. But anyway, these all have, see the ladders on the side? So if you go to about, where is that? There. That edge should correspond to that grey edge there. So if we come out to, say, here, click and just go. Do we have zoom turned on? No, we don't. Press or zoop. Sorry, not zoom. Just do that. Grab a foundation. That one. We may have judged it well, or we may not have. But anyway. And then just go straight up. Right, so we're a little bit short. That's okay. Back to logistics. So you can kind of place these as you go. Oh. How many more do I need? Yellow just means it's hitting the foundation we put down. See? Now we built too many, but what you could do then is build another foundation beside us. Now we can jump down off it, so we don't break our neck. Right. Now, what I wanted to show then was once we had done that. Oh, no, not that. I managed to catch it on the way down. Right. Not ideal placement, but anyway, not the point. What we're trying to show. Oh, yes. So click the top output. Don't click again, and just keep it that way, and then run up. I'm nearly sure we should be able to run up here, and yeah, no, that's going to block us. The idea was to get back up on top so that we could then aim at the end of the conveyor properly. I'm just going to come out of there for a second. Okay, let's take that out. I don't want to leave things floating, but yeah, this is going to get awkward just to take these down out of my way. There we go. Take off the extra one. Now, of course, we could do it the other way around. We could just click. No, so that's going to put the input to the end, which would be wrong. I might as well just jump down here and do it this way. Right, that should have restored the connection. Give it a moment, because they have to work their way through all of that storage and then they'll eventually come out. There is ladder actually on the side of those containers, I forgot. And there might even be room there for another container to fit in. Just about. Oh, and we're on the way down. Yeah, so the signs appear as the items move. As the first item moves into the storage, those digital signs will appear on each end. Oh, okay, I just noticed. Let us fix that. Yeah, so the second green line is there. That said, if you don't see the sleeve automatically appearing, you know it's not connected. Just check this other side in case that happened. So it's in, out, up, out, like a snake. Right, what's the next mod we want to feature? Oh yes, we were going to do the power switches. We were talking about prioritizing the miners. Now, again, you need to remember where the miners are getting power from. So it's this pole here is feeding these 3 miners, and it's getting power from. Where is it? Is it that one? Okay, so the power out was. It's kind of messy how it looks at the moment trying to follow it, but what you could do is break the output line, which I'm trying to remember which one was it. I think it was nearly sure it's that. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's input. That's the generator, so that has to be input. So that's going across through the rock to that. Okay. Trying to think of a simple example to show this properly. Oh, do you know what we do? Yeah. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. See if my thinking is correct. So right now you've got these two generators going to that pole and that pole going to that pole. And then that pole is feeding into the existing circuit over there to charge the energy storage, which I don't think is working. But then it's splitting off to feed the sink. So what if you wanted to prioritize the sink? 7. Okay. So we're missing plates and rods. There we go. Yeah, remember what it said about A and B. I can't really see A and B too well on this at the moment until I've actually placed it. Figure switch power switch is off. Power grid A, power grid B. What's your name here? Okay. Maybe this doesn't work the way I was thinking. But anyway, let's take out that line. So this is going to be our power grid A. Power grid B is going to be that one. Power grid A, as I said, is the two generators behind me with nothing consuming. Now the reason that'll be is because, oh hold on, no. I think we might have connected that wrong. Unless I misunderstood, but should this not connect? Okay, no it doesn't. Huh. So how does that work? If there's two power grids, shouldn't there be 2 connections per connector? This feels like this is something you would put in between, like for example, turning off the power sink. Because if I cut that connection using the switch, power switch is off. Yeah, I know it is. Now it's operational. Name, hub, gen. So my understanding of what I've just done is I have these 2 generators going to connection A. Connection B is going to that circuit, but that circuit is also getting fed from, is also feeding that area over there and the sink. But if I just wanted to turn off the sink, then this is not connected correctly. No, what would need to happen is we would need to put that line back where it was. Is there. No, hold on. Yeah, no, that's correct. Then put a line, last line connection to A. Break the connection to the sink. Then so B needs to go to the sink, or a pole, and then the pole to the sink, like that. So now what we've done is we've isolated the sink. So if we go back into here, so you can see, so it, as I said, B is the awesome sink and what it's consuming. So we want to turn off the power to the sink so it's not being wasted. We just hit the switch. That should knock this off. See, it's dropping to 0. And it says no power. Put it in, or you can hit the button as well. So that's one use of this. You could probably use these in combination with each other and other things, but as well as the energy storage, which I suspect isn't working. Oh, might be able to find out. Let's go and grab, yes, what do we need for that? Modular frame biomass. Science. Right. Hit some rods again. Do. No, we're gonna have to do it the other way. Give iron plate. Give iron rod. Should we just take that out? Seven. So connect the source to probably doesn't matter A or B. What? We'll put the source on A and the output on B and connect it to that. That should be passing through. Oh, it's there, alright. Question now is it actually charging? Maybe it takes a bit of time. No. I have a sneaking suspicion this is not actually working. Because it should... This is an external indicator, so... Even a little bit of a green, you'd imagine it should be at the bottom. Anyhow, let's move on. So yeah, we did a very basic multi-dimensional factory up there for iron ingots into, sorry, iron ore into ingots and ingots into plates, which can then be, you know, rinse and repeat for everything else you need to do. And then obviously take one for limestone to concrete, copper, ore, etc. Looks like the berries are regrown as well. That was something they fixed that wasn't in the original game. Oh yeah, that's right, we cut off the power to the sink. That's why it's saying that. Right, just related to that, actually, if you've got a lot of miners set up initially, and you've got conveyor set up that's all trying to aggregate it and whatnot, but you've got splitters and mergers, if you find that at the end of a line you're going to have excess that you just want to keep it moving along, you could send the excess into the sink or into the storage that the sink uses. That's one potential use for that. Can't be sunk, okay. Fair enough. Oh, excuse me. Might send those few in. What else is there on our list of stuff? Yeah, let's have a look at the CCTV. That's one part of a mod. Might be the same mod for the central storage. Cameras. So, where do you want to put the camera? Can't afford. Okay, let's say you wanted to monitor your biomass burners. Give me that camera. Okay, let's put that somewhere we can see it, like there. Okay, now let's go back to our hub. Right, now back here, go to CCTV monitor. Figure. Oh, yes, so, I forgot to check. So there is configurable options on the camera. I will say the camera is huge. Kind of reminds me of, I don't know, Prisoner, what was it, Prisoner 47 or whatever he was called, Project McGowan. So there's the camera and the camera view. Edit name. Okay, maybe they could, the mod owner could reposition that text box to move up a bit. Right, what we call this? Cam 01 burner 1. How do I get out? Oh yeah, click on that. Right. Then go back to our camera station. I'm guessing it'll also work inside the multi-dimensional space thing. There we go, cam 1, burner 1. And there it is. And if we had multiples, we could probably use this to move around it. Oh, that actually moves the camera view. Okay. That's cool. I'm sure there's a use for that across the map. Yes. Oh, the underground thing. Yes, I really want to show that one. So you've got go to underground. I wouldn't have called it that, but so this is going to be similar to the multi-dimensional factory. I'm going to stick this in the corner somewhere like there. Oh, it is snapping to the base actually. There we go. So this is the way in. Configure. Okay, that actually put me inside, didn't it? So there is no actual lift. Like you don't walk into the lift and yeah. See, door. There's actually an invisible wall or something there. So you have to press E. So what it's actually doing is from this point you click E. And now you've come out of the elevator. Essentially, it's teleport you. So it's basically a vertical column that's under the map. So the under the map is flat, but it's putting in a floor at this level. I think it's minus 20,000 or something. I think is what this is at. So essentially, you could build a base underground. You could then use cosmetic mods and walls, floors, etc., and build around it. So, for example, let me see if I can find more deco. Any walls in here we can use, and pillars and stuff. There's loads of stuff in here you can place down. I wonder, could we... Yep, that works. Don't know if we can align any of these things. We might need to just use foundations. But it just gave me an idea for a couple of things we could do. Place down some props just as something to see when you come down. But walls, if you could cordon off. Actually, we might need to put down foundations first. Let me see. Is that going to glitch through it? Oh, what's it doing? Yeah, it is. Not ideal. Because I can't even see where the edge is. Yeah, I suppose we could put it through it. Players in the way. Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's do that. Build it out a bit. Help if I typed it right. Again, the fog that I mentioned earlier, you can turn it off with mods or with the console. Just can't remember how you get into the console at the moment. Alright, let's just create this as like a starting area that you've just landed in. doors afterwards. Just want a very basic example of what it could potentially look like. What does it think it's clipping with? I don't see anything for it to be clipping. Anyway, put it in. I'll just quickly try and get this done. Routed plates. Right. Basically, we just want to box this area in so that you don't really know that you're underground. Right, so you go right down into the factory. You create a stairwell, maybe going up and around, up onto the next floor. You can put in any wall doors. Okay, different doors. Sci-fi door. Okay, let's try a couple. One. Oh, stick that one there. Okay, obviously the texture of that wall doesn't really suit this, but anyway, put it down. Ah, so it teleports us through it. It doesn't actually animate or open. I was wondering about that. Not to worry. Anyways, what about this one? Is this the same? Yeah, so it's a cosmetic anywhere door. What about this one? Does this one do anything? Nope. Just punts me through to the other side. Different door on the opposite side. I was thinking if you could join these together, but it might not be that clever. Air conditioning for underground, huh? Not sure what that metal bar is meant to be, but boxes still moving in. Boiler. There's probably something that could connect up to. Engine with container. accidentally glitched that into the wall, but yeah, that looks like it would be more suitable for a corner. Portaloo. Sci-fi pillar, sci-fi base. Ooh, that iridescent glow is a bit much. If you press E, it's cycling through them. Maybe sci-fi pipe. Not sure. Might need to build some foundations first. Ceiling monitor. That's pretty cool. But yeah, there's great potential here. Like, you could build a cosmetic base, nodes, whatever, upstairs. You could use the node creator mod. Where is it? We did see it earlier. You can place your own resource nodes. This logistical hub mod redistributes one type of material between inputs and outputs. Let's stick it down here and see what we can do with it. I suppose you could use it for relaying ore and whatnot. No, you can't walk inside, but you can. Okay, are those inputs? That's the output, I think. For some reason he didn't put the connector view onto, or part of the model on. Ah, here we go. Receiving quantity, power, conveyor, transfer, inputs, outputs. So I wonder, is this a filter? Here we go. Hub input, hub output. Oh, is it customizable? Is... Ah, right. So does that mean... Alright, there's an input. There's an output. More concrete. Something tells me you can probably name these. Just trying to think how you'd use this. Yeah, so this is how you'd feed into it. Hold on, let me put down a storage unit. Like there. Right, so that's the input. It's output. I think you need power for all of this as well. Right. Right, they are now up and running with power. Again, there's nothing in there yet. So what happens if we go to this storage container and say store all? Take that back. Right, so there's the berries coming out, there's cables coming out. Oh, what's it say? Processing. Okay, it looks like you can limit the range as well. Why does it think there's no inputs? Well, there's the items coming in. I do wonder how you're supposed to... Should you not be tethering it to this? I think it's storing it inside this input itself. Has its own buffer. Which may be infinite by the looks of it. So if that's the case... If we click on... What was it? Cables, wasn't it? Quantity for... Okay, so that's set to receive cables. Ah, we've just enabled the conveyor on those ends now. So that's only if you wanted to use it for that. Transfer. How does it know which one that's receiving? Because what if you have multiple receivers? I'm not sure now. Wow, these roads look very big or deep even. Yeah, I don't know whether this is just not working as intended or there's more to it. Because I would have thought that going into the system goes into this storage unit, but it doesn't see the inputs or the outputs. Conveyor is not enabled, so we did have an output earlier on this showing. What I wanted to try was could I... Oh, that only takes 2 items, that's what it is. So if each one of these inputs only takes 2 different item types, where is it sending them to? I don't think it's sending them anywhere actually, by the looks of it. Like, get it moving. Now it's just one input and output. So what if you set this to... Oh yeah, that's receiving cable now. Still don't think it's working right though. Yeah, it sees the inputs and the outputs, but I don't know. It's not I mean, I could see it being useful for, say, a miner to send to central storage or something, but it's not really even doing that, is it? Let's see if I can get some more information on how it's supposed to work, but for now, to leave it now. I think as well, now, as I said, with this underground mod, with the neck, before you place another underground elevator on ground level, there's a command you can run that says it's like slash underground slash say 1000. The idea is that we'll build a floor at 1000 or minus 1000 I should say, on the height elevation underground, so you can have, you know, multiple floors if you want to think of it that way, depending on where you place them. Because remember, we've placed it, we are directly below where we placed the underground elevator. See that? And if we had our whatchamacallit, jetpack, we could probably fly up a bit, but we'll probably get to a certain point where we can't pass through. But as I said, I like the idea of boxing it off and then building out and building hub rooms or factory rooms. Now you could, as part of that, I believe you can pass conveyors through. Yeah, so that has reached its maximum on the top, because I don't think we have much of that happening up there. But let's say we wanted to redirect iron from, say, this machine, or even. What if we wanted to go underground with that? I wonder how exactly we could do it. Click that. Okay, they don't click anything else, but let's go to the elevator. Yeah, there is a limit on these. Or too steep, yeah. So we can't enter with this active. We can't press E because it switches the item type. So we need to figure out how we're going to get under that. We might just have to build downwards. Oh yeah, there we go. You can just look down actually. It's done it. I think that's done it. Yeah, it's a bit of a dirty way of doing it. With a ramp. So we could figure out how to get down there and get up to that point. We could actually set up a chain. But again, the teleport conveyor mods would be of use for that sort of thing. So you can send stuff over distance. And in fact, we've actually done it already, I just realized. Remember we did it with this. Now obviously this does not have, what's the word? You only have one of them per world or game save. And if it's only used by a player, usable by a player, then it's not really going to work for that underground factory. But I was thinking of this. This is essentially teleporting the resources to it. So the equivalent of that, basically. Yeah, I think we've covered loads of stuff there. Yeah, I need to take a break anyway because it's been over 3 hours, I think. See? We're in an underground base, super secret base. There's probably a way to box that off better. Yeah, it's not exactly square, but had we done that when we were placing it, we could potentially square it off, make it look like it is, and then put some basic walls around it. Probably, and then you could use props and stuff to hide the gaps and whatnot, or make it look like, I don't know, pipes or something in between. What have we got in here? Let's have a look. Yeah. Oh, well, that's a huge pipe. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Probably other things in here that are suitable. Oh yeah, what about the pillar? I don't know where that iridescent glow is coming from. Yeah, something like that. Use your imagination, as they say. Plus there's loads of stuff we haven't unlocked on the, whatchamacallit, the hub. There is a hub terminal that you can set up. I don't know if we have the mod for it. No, maybe not. Yeah, I saw it on something earlier before I started. Fast air personal transport. I wonder. See, oh yeah, so you build 2 stations and then you make a drone and it'll transport you between it. And when you go to the station, there's a terminal and you can pick. You set the name on the 2 stations. And when you enter the bubble thing, you just select which destination and the bubble will float and go between them. Select the material to see its production rate. Okay, that's... Where can we stick that down? Okay, why is it not... Why can't I get it to clip to the wall? That's annoying. How does it know? Oh, there we go. Takes a moment. Wait a minute, what is that? Just wondering, what is that linking to when you have multiple miners? But anyway. Well, I'll call it there before I fall asleep again. Bye for now. See you in the next one.